Hey, good morning, y'all. So it's funny, whenever I tell people about stories regarding my biological mother these days, it gets kind of buck wild because they just casually tell me, "Oh, it sounds like she's tried to kill you." And it's like, yeah, there's a lot of stories like that. I remember at some point online someone was talking about how rare it is that people clean their cast iron pans, and I was like, "Yeah, you're absolutely fucking right." Once I asked my mom if I could use her cast iron pans since I heard they were good. And her response was to hand me this greasy, uncleaned, muck-riddled pan. Then she sprayed it with Windex and lightly dabbed it with a napkin, and then said to absolutely not clean it. So I used it as she recommended, and let's just say I had oil slick potatoes that day, and my entire dish was ruined, and I got sick from what I ate. And I was a teenager, for context. And basically every single motherfucking person was like, "What kind of fucking nut job is your mother? Why the fuck?" So, and they were like, "So let me get this straight. Your mom puts you at risk of not only massive food poisoning, because there's so much bacteria you can get from that, but also chemical poisoning, and had you fucking eating barely sopped up Windex off of a cast iron pan that hadn't been cleaned in fuck knows how long?" And I said, "Yeah, you should have seen it. The fucking chicken broth and potato dish that I made was literally oil slick covered and ash black." And then everyone was just responding, "I'm gonna fucking throw up. Yeah, your mom needs to be in jail. Sounds like your mom wanted to kill you." And then recently I was hanging out with this dude and his kid, and do you know how funny it is? I remember I told them, "Oh yeah, I remember when I was younger, my mom saw I was happy at the Drake and Josh episode where they have the big prawns, and so she went out of her way to buy some big gray black prawns cold from the supermarket. And then when I didn't want to eat them because they obviously looked nothing like the episode and also were obviously uncooked, she threw a hissy fit and basically said that I had to eat them, and I just had to shove the cold, nasty, uncooked black shrimp into my mouth, and I got really sick after. Do you know how fucking jarring it is to hear not only the grown man I was with be like, "Yeah, she's fucking stupid. You're supposed to cook shrimp every single time. She could get you really sick." But his 9-year-old daughter even was like, "Yeah, she's so dumb. That could have got you really sick. You could have died. She wanted to kill you." And my favorite story, which also just drives home the whole, I'm pretty sure my family would have been very comfortable with me dying. Also, I remember this exact moment in time was just me being sold on the whole, no matter what, I need to estrange my family. So I remember, this is so funny because there's a scene in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia that basically goes just like this one did, but I promise I have proof of it happening. I remember, I laid the fuck... Okay, sorry, I got distracted. I was just gonna say I laid the fuck down and told that whole story over the course of the pandemic, years before that episode got released. But what happened was, I remember my family cooked hot links for dinner, and I took a bite of mine, but it was too big of a bite, and then it got lodged in my throat, and I was choking ridiculously hard. You could see me go... eyes bulging, gasping sounds, guttural noises, and me obviously gesturing with my hand to my throat and just making it clear and I was making it extremely clear that someone needed to physically help me. But then you know what happened? My half sister, she stared me dead in the face like, "What's wrong with you?" My older brother, he was staring at me like I was crazy. My mom, she was staring at me all sideways and shit. And my stepdad, he's a fucking idiot, so he just had the usual glazed over look in his eyes. And I want you to guess how long it took for me to finally stop choking on that hot dog and be saved from a possible death. I want you to guess. It felt like an eternity, but I'm gonna go with about 3 fucking minutes. And I know the average person will die if they have their fucking breath halted and are unable to breathe for 4 minutes, for context. And my mom and everyone was stupid as fuck. They were like, "Hey, Tamia, what are you doing? Are you choking? Are you choking? Are you, what's wrong? Are you choking?" And I was, obviously someone who's fucking choking with a hot dog lodged in their throat cannot speak. But the obvious gestures of putting to my throat, doing like this, gesturing for help, trying to grab their hand, all of them basically just backed away and were just full on watching just to see what would happen, not moving a single fucking inch. And I thought to myself, okay, these niggas really want me to die. So once way too fucking long of a time went by, I could feel my vision getting blurry and like my head throbbing and pounding. I was scared as fuck. This is why I rely so much on myself, and it took me ages to start actually realizing I could ask other people for help because of shit like this. So I physically, just as if I was like a fucking dog, or like a dog owner trying to save its dog from choking, but I was both the owner and the dog. I had to tilt myself over, literally shove my whole fucking long fucking hands down my throat, and physically try to touch my uvula area while pulling the meat out of my mouth. And I vomited my meat all over the fucking plate. And then my family went, ew, oh my god, what was that? As if they didn't know. And I said, what do you mean you don't know I was choking? And they got mad at me for having an attitude. And they were like, how are we supposed to know you were choking? Oh, geez, I don't know, doing the I'm fucking choking signal for like fucking 3 minutes. So yeah, that paired with plenty of other elements is just like, okay, these niggas really don't care if I live or die. And that's disturbing. So yeah, this is a nice video that I think sums up reasons why I'm estranged from my family. Also, fun fact, my mother also got fucking 3 cats in her house. Despite me being extremely allergic to cats to the point where several times I had to go to a hospital over it. All because she didn't want to see me around the house that much. So yeah, she can eat shit. Enjoy.